If you want to make some money, can't be the cheapest and the best. And premium people are not here to save money. They're here because you're the most efficient person for the job, because you have a team, because you have systems. If you are marketing to the wrong people, they can't afford to pay you. It's like trying to feed meat to a vegetarian. My name is Kim Perrymond. I am the founder of Easy Peasy Party Planning. I'm also an event planner, and I teach other women how to build event planning empires.
Here at the Easy Peasy Event Studio, from the phenomenal customer service, the support staff that waits on you hand and foot, to the out-of-the-box creatives.
What was the switch? Had like a situation going on with ex-husband?
When I got out of that relationship, I just started really focusing on personal development. And the first thing I did was just like moved out of the bedroom that we were in and moved into another bedroom in my house, okay? Because that room like had punch walls, broke mirror, all, it just reminded me of what I was going through. I just started attracting everything that I wanted in my life, and I call this my sacrifice season.
Like, where do you get the inspiration from?
I Googled, what can I invest in? And inflatable bounce houses popped up. And I was like, there are no other Black girls doing this. I would kill this. And so I invested in those 2 bounce houses. We had one problem.
What was the problem?
I didn't have a truck. I didn't have muscles.
How you would envision a successful baby shower.
So this all depends on...
All right, guys. So before we jump into the episode, just want to make a big announcement. We just launched the Motion and Success community, guys. So in this community, we're going to be giving you the game on content. Basically, how to grow your profile from 0 to 100K in under a year, as well as how to make money online, getting leads for your business, more customers, more money.
Also, for the Motion and Success podcast, one of the things that I realized, we're attracting a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and people that are just starting up their business and they're looking to start growing their business and scaling. One of the key factors to growing a business is by borrowing capital. So now when you're going out to certain banks, there's certain things that you need to do to be able to get funding for your business, to be able to start, grow, and scale what you got going on and take things to the moon. So if you're looking to go out and start growing and scaling your business like a lot of our guests has been doing, I'm going to teach you how to go out and get access to capital, access to credit cards, lines of credit, loans, things of that nature, so that way you can start growing your business. Sometimes you might just need an extra 50,000. Sometimes it might be 100,000. But listen, check us out inside the community. Go ahead and click the link down below and book a call with us. And I'm going to see you guys inside the community. Enjoy the rest of the episode. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. Listen, guys, my name is Cody Brown, and I got my co-host with me.
It's Ayo. And like I always say for every episode, we back with another great episode. And we only bring on quality guests, bro.
Only quality guests. And today is another episode where we're going to be interviewing another successful entrepreneur. This entrepreneur, she was in a very long relationship where she was able to transform her mindset, transform, some of the things that she was thinking before to be able to create a multiple 7-figure business. She was able to go ahead and relocate from, Florida to Atlanta to the hub where everything is all created and still able to thrive. Create an event-based business that's not event-based business,
Party planning.
A party planning business where a lot of entrepreneurs are definitely booking her for her services. So listen, this is another episode that you want to tune into. This is where Motion and Success meets Kimberly Perrymond.
Yes.
And Kimberly, go ahead, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are, and we can get started from there.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Kim Perrymond. I am the founder of Easy Peasy Party Planning, which is the party planning school. I'm also an event planner, and I teach other women how to build event planning empires.
Is this like a women-only business? Because I've only seen ladies that just throws events. I know parties like lit parties, bar, like bottles, like it's the guys, and then the event. Is it just like a predominantly women?
Well, I mean, mostly women plan events. So we have, for my community, so we have some men sneak in there every once in a while, but for the most part, it's a women-dominated industry.
Okay, all right, cool.
I definitely do want to, jump into the backstory. Like, how'd you jump into the event planning business? Like, give us a little bit of a backstory. Like, you grew up in Florida. Mm-hmm. How was life growing up in Florida?
How was life? It was great. I mean, it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
So, being that, you know, you coming from Florida, you know, we just came back from Miami. We see a lot of like the, you know, like you would kind of see a lot of like gaps in the wealth over there. Like you go to Miami, you see all the luxury high-end cars. You go to certain areas, it's like a little bit more poverty over there. So like coming up with, did you see like things that inspired you, like get like some type of exposure to be like, I want more out of life?
Wow. It's funny that you say that because I feel like I had kind of like the best of both worlds. So like growing up, my mom was on drugs. So I am the youngest of 3 girls, and my aunt raised me. I was kind of like back and forth. So my aunt was like prim, proper. She always had a great job. You know, she had an office job. She worked around other, you know, like Caucasian, white people, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw the, you know, wealthy people, and then I saw, you know, the hood, right? We grew up in the hood. But even having that exposure to all of that, I still wanted to do hood rat things. Like I wanted to be outside, like knocking on doors, running outside with no shoes. You know what I mean? I still wanted that life, because when I went to my auntie, it was like church. You know, we reading books and, you know, all of that stuff. So I like to say that me having, you know, that exposure, seeing somebody in college, that's what made me, you know, I'm the only one from my sisters to graduate from high school. I'm the only one to graduate from college. And I can say that it's strictly because I had that experience. I was exposed to the other side.
Wow. It's funny you mention that too, because that's how it usually is. It's like, you know, you grew up in a nice neighborhood. You want to do all the hood rat stuff. But when you actually from the hood, you're looking for a way to get out, you know. So it's definitely like, your story is amazing. Like, you know, seeing that you came from that and, you know, came up and become like, you know, super successful. Were you like partying a lot growing up? Were you like one of those people like attention to detail? Like you go to an event, you like seeing what's wrong? Like how was it? Like how did you get that
Did
eye?
I party a lot? No, not really. I started planning parties because you know how in school, right, you have to do your vision board, and it's like, what do you want to do? So I wanted to have 10 kids. I wanted to have until I had one, and then that changed everything. But I wanted to have like that white picket fence. I want to have my Mercedes, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to be a teacher, because growing up I was in gifted classes. And so I used to read to all of the kids, and I loved how they looked up to me, and you know, so I'm like, I want to be a teacher. And so I went to college. I became a teacher, and I was like, I hate this. And how am I going to get my 10 kids? How am I going to get my Mercedes? Like the salary was just not cutting it. And I wasn't a morning person. I Googled, right, what can I invest in? And inflatable bounce houses popped up. And I was like, there are no other Black girls doing this. I would kill this. And so I invested in those 2 bounce houses, right? We had one problem.
What was the problem?
I didn't have a truck. I didn't have muscles. So I remember them delivering them to my house, and I'm just like, Lord, like, what am I going to do? Sir, just put them on the back porch. We going to figure this out. And we did figure it out, right? Wow. And I remember going to parties, and I'm like, man, they need everything. They need balloons. They need flowers. They need all of these things. And so I need to be the person to do all of this stuff, because this is how I'm going to make more money.
Wait, so leaving the job, like how long were you a teacher for? Like how long was that period?
Probably a year, not a long. It wasn't. I was a sub. I was a substitute, right? Okay. It was,
and they
be
giving subs.
Yeah, they don't be respecting.
I don't know about Florida, but out of New York, when you're teaching out here, it's time to act up. You know what I mean?
Do you hear me?
Yep.
It was MySpace back then. The kids used to be writing me on MySpace, like, kid, go away. Like,
oh man.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
They gave me a hard time.
And how much did you make within that first year of working that job?
I don't even remember, but it wasn't a lot. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't a lot at all.
So why didn't you all right, so how about, because you know, like some people may be like, all right, cool, in the next 2-3 years you're gonna be able to make enough money to be able to afford a house and possibly the Benz. You didn't think about it like that?
What I knew was that the people who were owning the businesses, they were making the money. So I wanted to start my own business, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So that's why I went to Google.
Okay.
So you said you went to, you Googled and then you saw like bouncy houses and things like that. So did you, like, coming fresh off being a teacher and then leaving it, did you like get some mentorship? Like, how'd you jump into it, or did you just reach out to people?
Mentorship is super important, but I didn't have a mentor at that time. It wasn't until, I started going to the parties and I'm like, oh, I need to do all of this stuff, flowers, balloons, and all of this stuff. And then I started thinking, like, in a minute, I'm going to have to get a job because, like, I had a lot of customers, right? But I didn't know how to price myself, right? I used to be on Facebook saying, hey, if you want a party, I'm the best and I'm the cheapest. Well, Kim, if you want to make some money, you know what I mean? You can't be the cheapest and the best. And I kept wondering, why do I keep getting people that want the cheapest for the best? Well, girl, it said it on your flyer. Like, it says you're affordable. So when I reached that point, I said, you know what? I saw a planner from Pep. She's from here. And I used to look at her events and I'm wondering, like, how can I get my events to look like this? I want florals coming from the ceiling. I want luxury furniture. I want all of this. And I said, I need to take a class. Because I only took the class because it was like, Kim, you got to get a job or you have to learn. Like, the worst thing that can happen right now is nothing. So go take this class.
That's true.
I went to that class and it changed my life. I learned how to charge. I learned, girl, you don't need to do the flowers, the balloons, the part. You need a team. You need a system. This is why we develop, you know what I mean? This is why we developed a CRM that's helping, creatives make money on their feet and in their sleep, right? Not just doing the events, but any creative, like, I don't care what you do, T-shirt, what you need a digital product. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So now, like, when it comes to like the whole, starting out the journey, like, what was like the night and day difference after the mentorship program that the class that you took? Like, did you lose a lot of money? Were you like showing up to a lot of events? Next thing you know, your credit cards is probably outstanding. The balances just wasn't mathing up. Like, what was the night and day difference between?
So for me, I thought that if I just had the best props, the best furniture, if I was just the best designer, that I would just, like, where's the people that want to pay me a lot of money? Like, I don't see them. I had a lot of customers. When I took the class, it gave me confidence to increase my prices. Because I don't care how good your events look. If you are marketing to the wrong people, like, they can't afford to pay you. It's like trying to feed meat to a vegetarian. So you gotta change your marketing, right? But in order for you to start working with premium clients, something's gotta change, Kim.
So did you, being that, you starting off fresh, like, you probably didn't have one client, like, you took that class, now they're teaching you how to charge. How were you able to market to the right people, like the people who actually got the money and could afford to pay your prices? That's
where the change came in at, right? Because, Kim, you showing up with bleach stains on your shirt, ripped jeans, right? You cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. You're looking like $275. That's why you're getting clients that want to pay you $275, right? So the number one of the things I had to do was I had to change my look, right? When I'm showing up to consultations, you got to dress how you want to be addressed. That's one thing. Another thing is you have to have systems. If Beyonce comes to you to say, hey, I want to book you for Blue Ivy's party, okay, text me the address, text me the guest count. What? Beyonce is going to run, and she's going to run fast, right? And another thing is you have to, I tell a lot of people, increase your prices. Because if Beyonce comes to you and you tell her you're gonna do her event for $500, she's gonna run. Premium people are not here to save money. They're here because you're the most efficient person for the job. They're here because you are the best, because you have a team, because you have systems. When I book you, I'm actually getting a calendar link. When I book you, I'm actually getting an inquiry form where I can fill out, the guest count, the budget, the colors, all of those things, right? Hey y'all, it's your girl Kim Perrymond here, and I know y'all are watching this podcast getting so much information. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you my party planning toolkit for absolutely free. All you got to do is text me the word party to 678-403-6408. I'm going to teach you how to make sure that you are pricing properly. I'm going to teach you how to create your first digital product, and I'm also going to give you the exact systems that you need to be able to automate your business so you can make money on your feet and in your sleep. I'll see you there.
When you're starting out from zero in the event space business, not event space, I keep saying the wrong words. When you're starting out from zero in the party planning business, you might not have work to show for you. You don't have any videos. You might not have any testimonials, and you don't have any recommendations. Like, what's the best way to be able to show, like, all right, cool, I'm worth that premium price?
Absolutely.
I might not feel confident, first thing first, my first event. Yeah. So how do you, like, what's the formula for that?
So you can do a style shoot. So I used to do this all the time, right?
What's a style shoot?
So like you can go to Hobby Lobby, buy some things. I used to do this in my living room, okay?
Hobby Lobby. What's
Hobby
that?
Lobby, it's a store. So like Hobby Lobby, you can go to like IKEA, just any, any store, like, right? So listen, when I got serious about my business, I remember clearing my entire living room, and I put shelving up with all of my props, all of my stuff. And I would just do mock table settings right in my living room. Nobody knew. I got my kids holding up a tablecloth in the back. I'm holding my cell phone, right? Yeah. I'm just getting angles, right? Because you got to show people that you can think on a higher level in order for them to book you. Another thing I say, serve your way to the top. Go on eventbrite.com. Find someone who is already hosting an event, okay? Reach out to the event host and say, hey, my name is Kim. I'm a luxury event planner in Atlanta, Georgia. I would like to sponsor your event. I have donation dollars for events that are going on like yours, right? Send this to 20, 30 people. 10 of them gonna contact you back, right? Sponsor your services. Now I'm sponsoring my services for someone who can say, oh my God, you did such an amazing job. How can I hire you for my next event? Another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a QR code. I'm gonna have some flyers in there somewhere for every single person that's in that room to be able to contact me. I might have a freebie, right? Scan this to get 10% off your first event. Now I have a bunch of leads, a bunch of people who need my services and who can pay me my worth. Now your foot is in the door.
Yeah. Nah.
That's different.
Word. Like, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, already like planning out an event, you already getting a lot of anxiety. Like, you sitting here like, are people gonna show up?
Yes.
Is this gonna look like, you got a whole vision in your head and you're hoping it comes to life. So a lot of times, a lot of people, they might want to cheap out on that route, and then they pay the price for it. Like, we was out in Florida a couple weeks ago, and it was like I won't really say like a friend or like a homie, but he threw an event, and I texted him weeks before. I'm like, yo, you got a planner? Like, you want me to bring anything? Now I'm taking care of everything by myself. We get to the event.
It was a yacht party.
It was a yacht
in Miami.
3-hour delay. He didn't show up on time. It was like 3 different boats. Like only one boat had food on it, so everybody else was starving. No drinks.
Yes.
Complete disaster. Like, everybody got off the boat just hating him.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would you put yourself? It's your birthday. Why would you put yourself under that much pressure? To not only do you have to make sure people are coming, now you got to also make sure food is available. You cooperating the people who run the yachts. So it was just like a whole disaster. And he just put all that burden on him. Now probably a lot of relationships got messed up after that. But I'm just saying that to say, because it's like, it's a lot that goes
yes.
It's a lot of
into
moving
it.
parts.
It's a lot that goes into it. So, like, what is some of your strategies for people who are looking to get into the business, and their main thing is getting that first client, and actually knowing the math to be like, hey, because a lot of times, a lot of people got the work ethic, but they don't understand the math behind, making sure like I'm taking home something.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your strategies to make sure like they don't, cut themselves short in terms of making profits, in terms of working too hard? Like, what are some systems that you have in place to save you from all of that?
Yeah, and you see how you just said, you just went down a list of like all of these things. It costs money to plan a premium event. You need team, you need a staff, it's so many logistics, right? And so one of the things I say is think ahead of the people, of the people that you're serving. One of the things you need to be doing is you need to charge a service fee, and you also need to charge a design fee. Your design fee is the money that's going straight to you, straight to your pocket, okay? Another thing is you need to charge that service fee. So this is for transportation. This is for the people who are helping you, because you can't do it alone. And if you want to, if you want to work, we did an event for Myron Golden, right? And so we were in the mastermind, and then we had like 2 hours to flip the room for the award ceremony, right? And so what if I would have said, oh, I'm going to keep all the money, I don't need any. No, you need a team, right? So that's why you have to charge a service fee. It's going to help your business grow. When you bring on more people, it's going to help your business grow. The first person that I hired was a balloon artist. This was someone off of Facebook Marketplace. She was looking to grow her business just like I was looking to grow my business, right? And she came in and lit the place up, okay? She thought of things that I would have never thought to, it was a LOL pool party. So she brought like big Mylar shades. She had balloons coming from right? Trying to do everything on my own. I would have just did a little balloon column, a little pop here, a little, you know what I mean? But when you bring other people in, when you start building that team, hire a florist, hire a balloon artist, hire someone that does the party favors, put together a team. Yeah. You can find vendors by doing stuff like go on Instagram, do hashtag balloon artist Atlanta. You know what I mean? That's how you build. That's how you start building your team, and you gonna start finding people who want to collaborate with you and make magic.
So who is always on your team? Like almost every single event that you throw as a party planner. Like who's like the people that you're always gonna call?
So for one, I'm gonna have my event coordinator. I'm gonna have my host, right? So I do conferences. I love doing conferences, and we bring the vibe. So I call myself an event strategist. So if you wanted to host a conference and you're wanting it to convert, there are some things that need to take place. Like the energy has to be top tier in order for this event to convert. So I have my host. I have our AV person, our videographers, because when you hosting a conference, guess what? Are you thinking about, most people are going to get testimonials about the conference. Are you getting testimonials about the mentorship, about your program? These are things that you're going to be able to use to market in the future. You can put all of this stuff on your funnels. So we're thinking about stuff like that. My person that does the draping, if I'm doing florals, I'm going to have my person that does the florals, my caterers. For my people, I only want them to be able to, they just got to come and show up and shine. Yeah. Just grab the mic and do what you do. We thought everything else out.
That's crazy. That's crazy right there. Because I'm thinking back to some of these conferences I've been to, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot that goes into that as well.
What?
So the fact you just broke down the science, and made it sound so easy, that's crazy. I did want your opinion on, like, what has been the most effective marketing strategy for you? Has it been like Instagram, word of mouth? Has it been referrals? Like, what's been most effective for you?
So getting in front of the people who need your services, premium people. So I have this thing that I do on Facebook. I build a community of we got 60,000 people in my Facebook group now. Oh, wow. But if you go to Facebook and you go to groups, right? So let's just say we're doing baby showers, okay? I'm going to click groups on Facebook, and then I'm going to type in the word moms, okay? So it's going to start putting up a whole bunch of groups that have moms in it. Moms of Atlanta, Moms Baseball Club. And I'm just going to go inside of those groups, and I'm just going to start dropping photos, right? Not selling. I'm just going to put mock-ups. I'm doing this baby shower. I'm creating my baby shower packages, and I was wondering, should I make this pink or should I make it yellow? That's the thirst trap, right? And so the algorithm is gonna go crazy because you're gonna have people, it needs to be blue, it needs to be orange, right? But the people who are interested, who say, oh my gosh, I need this, they're gonna go to your page. And you gotta make sure that your page is looking sexy for your clients, right? So you should have a post, something pinned. You should have your inquiry form, your link tree. This is something that we do with the systems. You should have all of this stuff so people don't have to wait. They can just click on there and fill out your services. Have you a freebie, right? You can have a budgeting, a planner or something like that for people to click on. Now they're in your CRM. You have their name, you have their phone number, and you have their email, right? So you can market to them. So number one, that's one of them is the Facebook strategy. Another one is the Eventbrite play, right? You need to find people who are already hosting events. They're probably panicked like your friend was, like, Lord, it's 24 hours before this event, and I don't have a planner. I got you.
So when it comes to like the event, how soon should you start marketing for the event? Like, how soon should you start, saying, all right, cool, we got to find our venue. We got to find, this is what we're going to do. This is how the idea is going to, start coming into play. Like, how far out should it be? Like,
You like yesterday, but realistically, like a month, like 30
Only
days.
a month?
Yeah, like we do events for like a lot of high level people, and sometimes we can get a call in 24 hours. So that's why I say you always have to be ready. As a creative, you should have, like, I call it your A players and your B players. So if I'm doing an event for Beyonce, I got my A players. I'm calling my top florists, my top, balloon artists. And then I got, hey, if the budget is not quite there, then I got I got other people that I can call. And then 3, I got my digital products. So if you can't quite, you
you can try to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes sense. I see how you
could DIY it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I absolutely
You got so many things in place.
Yeah, like you got, like, from starting out from, like, I see the whole roadmap, right? Starting out from getting your first client with the event, like the Eventbrite play. And then fast forward to, all right, cool, now you got the marketing, you're building out your team, you're building out, all your systems as far as, like, your website, making sure everything looks good on the front end. And now, all right, cool, if you can't afford the services, you downsell them on a whole different
DIY.
Makes sense.
You can literally drop ship these items. So, like, if somebody is hosting an event, if I'm doing a baby shower, guess what?
Do you do baby showers and all of that? Because it sounds like you do, like, a lot of conferences. Do you do those?
Yes.
What's, like, your top money makers? Like, what's the top money maker events that you usually throw? Is it, like, seminars, conference?
It's definitely conferences, and they are so fun.
What makes it so fun?
Because,
and what's the other ones, by the way, too?
Because you get to interact with so many people. Like, it's just energy in those conferences. People are hungry. They come to learn. I love conferences. And then another one would be, like, social events. So, like, birthdays, like luxury, intimate birthday dinners, stuff like that.
So, like, conferences and luxury events, high-end lifestyle luxury event. Okay. Have you ever done, like, an event, like a speed dating event, kind of?
A speed dating event?
Yeah. Like, when people do, like, speed dates?
Yeah.
It's kind of like where singles come
like
together and they, okay, I don't know.
You should host one, and then I could do the decor.
She gave you a place.
I think, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would do the decor.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Think about it.
Cody
Think
better
about
plan
it.
that up for the summer.
Think about it.
Better
I
plan
think
that
about
up.
it. Okay.
I was gonna say, cause like I was saying before, like, hosting an event is stressful, right? So how do you handle clients who? because we all have some of those clients like, no, I want it red. No, I want it blue. Nah, never mind. Nah, don't. Just keep the color the same. Like, it's just a constant back and forth. Like, how do you handle clients that, you know, that they can't really make their mind up? It's just constantly like, change this, change that. And even when you show them their work, they're not really satisfied or they want to tweak something. Like, how do you handle dealing with clients like that without losing the deal?
Well, you can't be afraid to lose the deal. That's for one. Because like you deserve to have a job that you love, and you know you want to wake up, you want to create. So you should have like a list of red flags. So like if you want to micromanage me, if you want to, you know, you want to call me outside of my business hours, right? If you want, you know what I mean? You see me on live like, hey, I change colors. No, like that's a red flag. So you want to not work with clients who stress you out because you don't deserve it.
It's true, and that could probably save you too, because a lot of times a lot of people want to go on social media
and they try to bash
bad
you.
reviews, you know. So a lot of times saving yourself from that headache is like a must.
Yeah,
it's definitely like a must.
Have you ever had like a nightmare story with any of these clients before?
I haven't. No, like I'm trying to think. Have I ever had well, maybe when I was first starting, right? And I was just like doing the parties for $275, and it was like I didn't have contracts, I didn't have anything, so it was just like I'm showing up. I didn't tell you what I was gonna do, but I'm just gonna do something. So you may have a client that's like, well, it wasn't as pretty as the event that you did last week. Yeah. Who's to blame? Because I never had a contract. I never told her. Like, I didn't have an itemized list of what I was doing. So, yeah.
What are some things, like, behind the scene that's critical to an event that most people don't see?
I would say planning and just having that team of experienced people. Like we had an event where we had one of our printers cancel on us like within 24 hours, right? Wow. And so we had to do a lot of branding for this event. It's 24 hours before the event. We got to cover like the front of the building. We got to wrap everything in here. And so our team, like, we didn't even stress because I have them trained, right? It's always going to work out. Like, God will never leave you or forsake you. It's always going to work out. And so everybody was like, it's going to work out. And we broke that order up in between 3 different printers. We had our Uber drivers like delivering stuff, and we got it done. When the doors opened, it was lit. It was up. It was done. Damn. So it was a lot of pressure, but we got it done, and that's all that matters.
Damn, nah, I could imagine. Like, that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. So, where do you like? Where does the creativity come from with some of the designs for these events? Like where do you get the inspiration from?
So I get inspiration from like traveling. I love to just visit luxury places. So like when we're traveling, I like to go to luxury hotels just so I can see some of those experiences, because like when you want to when you want to plan events for premium people, you got to know like what's going on in those premium rooms. You got to know what it looks like, feel like, taste like, smell like. How does it feel? So I like to go to luxury places. I also ChatGPT. Don't say I ain't put y'all on ChatGPT. So you can literally type in, you can go on ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm planning a luxury baby shower. Hey, I'm planning a luxury kid birthday party, and the theme is, you know, whatever, Minnie Mouse. And I want it to have, you know, 5 tables for the guests. I want the backdrop to be pink and black with stripes, and ChatGPT is gonna give you some inspiration.
And ChatGPT is even giving you like pictures now too.
Yeah.
Yes,
like, it's giving you
designs
pictures.
And everything
like
too.
you be like, all right, cool. Give me like a picture of this, and they'll give you like the whole breakdown, a whole mock-up, and the next thing you know, you can just use that same exact mock-up and create it in reality.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's gonna give you pictures. It's gonna give you centerpieces. It's gonna text message. It's gonna give you everything you need.
Yeah. So
No, I was gonna ask you too, just to piggyback on that, was like, how big has social media been? You know, you know, because I'm pretty sure the event planning business changed. Now everybody's on social media. So how have you been like leveraging social media to get clients, to post your work?
So as an event planner, I use social media to leverage my business by using systems. So like keywords, I use a platform called Cream. So if I want to, if I'm doing an event, I'm going to show them, I'm going to take them along the journey. Hey, we're doing a site visit. You know, if you want to book us for an upscale event, you know, come at the word party, and then boom, they're going to get a link to fill out my inquiry form, or they're going to get a free planner, whatever I'm giving them. So, and this just showing people like, people be so afraid. Like, I'm going to show you that the cake fell, and I'm going to show you how we repaired it. Just, you know, taking people along the journey.
You ever booked a client from one piece of content?
All the time. Yeah, all the time. Because, like, people buy with their eyes. So that is why it's so important. So, like, when I told you, like, when you go in those Facebook groups and you're posting pictures of your work, people who love your work are going to come back to your page, and they're going to be like, oh, this is nice. So when I come to your page, I shouldn't see you on Instagram. You at the beach eating chicken with drinking a Corona. Like, no. I want to see your best work. And that's how that's how you're going to get clients.
So when it comes to your job, I feel like, you know, you got to have like a special eye for hosting events. Not hosting and also planning the event as well, right? So you teach this kind of stuff. How do you go about, you know, because I might not have the creativity as you may have the creativity. How do you go about like teaching mentees and people that, all right, cool, even though I was able to start out in the event space business, oh my God, I keep saying event space, in the party planning business, you're able to do the same thing too. Like, how do you instill that into them? Because it's not like, all right, cool, like you could just walk in like, you could change the ceiling, you could paint this color, you could probably put a little some on the back, probably change this, you could probably change that. Some people just got it, and then some people, they just don't got it.
Yeah.
Like, so when it comes to like, you know, teaching people, how do you usually go about teaching them?
Yeah. So you collaborate with the people that just got it. So that's the thing. So you don't have to be the most creative. You have to be the most strategical though, right? So you got to use systems. You got to collaborate with other designers. When I go do a site visit, like, we make magic. When I'm able to bring my florist, when I'm able to call up the person that's doing my draping, the floors, and the building my props, and they come in and like, oh no, we should do the entrance over here. We should do we can do balloons over here to cover the stairs. So you make magic. It's not a one woman show type of thing, right? So you gotta build a team.
So when it comes to teaching this, like, what's like the most important thing that you usually instill into your mentees?
So, all right. So like you just said, for somebody who is like, you know what, I struggle with designs. I think my designs are stuck in the 1999s, right? We create Canva templates, right? So they look amazing. All you got to do is edit it, send it to print, and show up to the event, right? So you don't have to worry about if it's ugly. You don't have to worry about, you know, is my client gonna like this? You can use a Canva design. And not only can you use that design to plan the event, you can also sell it. I'm gonna keep saying this.
Digital products.
You can sell it as a digital product because like me, my goal is to do one event per quarter. Like, let me tell you.
It sounds like you're doing this every day.
My goal is to do one event per quarter.
So you only do one event every quarter?
That's my goal. Like, I'll do more, but...
Oh, so you want like a massive event once a quarter is what you're saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. How many do you do like right now?
Probably 2 a quarter.
Close. That's close to the goal.
And we do a lot of classes as well. So we do a lot of like hands-on events. So that's why you see a lot of stuff, right? We do a lot of hands-on events too. But like when I got pregnant, this is the thing. When I got pregnant, you know, the bills don't stop. I got so sick. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, I got to find a way to still make money. So I said, okay, I'm going to make props from home. Okay. And so I was like, okay, everybody knows how to make props. Everybody didn't. And so what I did was I started a class, right? I was like, everybody knows how to do this, but everybody didn't. So I started a class. I launched that class for $25, and literally 3,700 people signed up.
Wow.
So this is why I tell everybody, like, you need to have a digital product. Sell the same backdrops that you're using. Sell those as a digital product. You can do it. You can do the event with those designs, and you can also sell the design to DIY parents or other creatives.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what I was saying too. Like, you got something at every level for, you know, people who might not be able to afford your services. They can still, you know, learn from the ebook, learn from the digital products that you have. I wanted to jump into like protecting your business too, because, you know, events you never know what could happen. You know? So how do you protect your business, you know, from things like liabilities, vendors? Like, how do you protect your business from whatever might happen?
Yeah. So you got to have insurance. I use a company called Thimble. And let me tell you.
Thimble, how you spell it?
Thimble.
Okay.
When I started, like, places would tell me, especially setting up my bounce houses, you got to have insurance. And I would run. I would be like, no, I'm not ready for insurance, because I thought it was so expensive.
Yeah.
It's not. You can get a policy for like less than $100 a month. $1 million policy.
So
right?
basic. Oh yeah, my fault.
Yeah, and you want to make sure, like, the vendors and the people that you are working with, you want to make sure that they are protecting people's stuff, protecting people's venues. So when they're bringing stuff in, they're putting down a subfloor. They're doing whatever they can to, you know, to not damage people's things, because somebody got to pay.
Yeah. Wow. That's a big key asset in the business, because a lot of times is like people could get so drunk, they could get so wasted. Say, for example, you had a pool party. You know, you get dunked into the pool, person can't swim. Now you know you got an ambulance, somebody's dead, you know.
Oh,
and
my
now
goodness.
That's the biggest stress of your life. But just by having, all right, cool, you know, in the back end, you got your insurance policies that'll be able to cover these events. You know, say, for example, you have some props that's up in the air. It may fall, you never know, but you got your insurance. So that's definitely good. What's one big thing that separates you from a lot of people that's in this industry? I don't think there's a lot of people, but I feel like there is a good amount of people out there.
Yeah. I would say I got a name too. The energy. Energy. So, like, when we host events, like, we help people convert. Like, we know what the energy needs to be like. Another thing that separates us is, I would say, the systems. So not only, like, I'm not teaching you to be the person that's, be the best florist, be the best balloon. No. Do you have a digital product? Because when you want to go and have fun with your kids on the weekends, because we work on the weekends, when you want to go and have fun with your kids, a lot of creatives aren't able to do that. They're missing out on family functions because they're stuck doing events. What if you had a digital product that worked just as hard as you do for those events, right?
Right.
So that's the thing I think that separates us is, you know, we teach creatives how to not only make money on your feet, but make money in your sleep.
So it sounds like you mastered the digital product side, and also you mastered the actual event planning side. Is it safe to say, like, the digital product side is like something that you must have, like your top go-to when you're starting your event-based business?
Event planning business.
My God. Event planning business.
But both.
Yeah,
definitely. Because, I mean, you don't want to, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. It's stressful. So the same product. So, like, if I'm creating a backdrop, a Minnie Mouse, I'm creating a banner, right? A backdrop for you to celebrate your daughter's birthday party. You may want me to come out and set up the whole event. But him, on the other hand, his wife might be like, that's too much. I'm not spending $30,000 on a birthday party. I can do this myself. Okay, man, would you like to buy my digital, buy the backdrop, the floor wrap, the menu, all of those things, right? So I just sold to 2 clients with 1 item.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how you want it.
Anybody, like, they bought the book and they went out and executed on things, and they came back to you like, nah, this worked.
Yeah. I have some of my women are making six figures. I have a lady, Stacy. She just made $11,000 off of one of our digital product sets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had that's why I teach people for free. I was doing a free class yesterday night, was it Sunday night? And one of the ladies commented and she said, Kim, I just sold 4 digital products while I'm here on the class right now. Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's the huge money maker right there. So now, you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So now, when it comes to like the whole event planning business, right? How much revenue could you make? Like, how much income could you make, and how many hours are you usually putting in, like on average, for each event?
Yeah, it's limitless. Because can I ask you a question? When are people having birthday parties? When are people being born?
Every day.
Day.
Hello? When are baby showers happening?
Every day.
Every day. Celebrations will never be canceled. AI could never take us out. Like, this is a recession-proof industry. What happened when
definitely
COVID?
is.
When COVID happened, what were we doing? Drive-through baby showers.
People were doing online. They were doing like online parties, things like that. Yeah.
Yes. Celebrations will never be canceled. And I don't even care about like the economy. When it's my son's birthday party, I'm going to find a way to buy the cake. I'm going to find a way to have this birthday party no matter what.
So like, what's like potential like numbers that you would say that a person can probably look forward to doing in their first year?
In their first year, I would say easily I'm teaching my people how to have 10K months easily.
Is that selling digital products and
A combination. So I got Kiana. So she's selling digital products every day. She has an event space that you've been wanting to say. She has an event space, and she has like 2 spa buses. Like she has 2 Pamper Me spa buses. So and she's like, since I joined your mentorship, she was like, I'm making money so much easier and it's less stressful because I don't even have to do all of this other stuff anymore. So, but yeah, it's a combination of both. So just imagine having a design fee of $2,500. Your design fee is your money, okay? So if I want to have a 10K month, how many events do I need to do? I need to do 4 events, and I'm going to profit. Yeah, I'm going to profit 10K, right? Not only that, right? What if I'm renting my items? So if I'm doing an event, I'm renting my pipe and drape, backdrop stands. I'm renting my chairs, right? I'm renting my cups, plates, napkins. I'm renting those things. So that's added income on top of that.
How about, are you making money on the referral side too? Because I know that's also a bag as well.
Affiliate in the system that we have.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So in the system that I'm telling you about,
what is
Cream.
the system, by the way? Because I know you say you created a system. What's the system?
Cream. It's called Cream. So it's Client Relationship Easy Automated Management System. So when starting my business, I felt like it was something that I was missing, right? Because I'm doing it, I'm getting the clients, but it's like, well, how do I communicate with them? Like, how are they going to pay me? Like, how do we keep this communication? So that's why I created the CRM. So it helps you, you can send text messages, emails, phone calls, sell digital products. It's everything in one space. Even like the automations I was telling you about,
Right.
how I'm using social media, keywords.
Do you also charge your clients to be like, because I know like for some event planning softwares, they have like a text reminder where you can RSVP, you can put yes, maybe, or no. Do you include that into your packaging? We're like, all right, cool, I'll blast out to all of your audience, just give me the names, the numbers, the people that you want to attend.
Yes, so we can create like RSVP links that they can just give to the people who are attending. So if they have any dietary restrictions, any of those things, right?
Oh wow.
Yes.
Damn.
You ever had, dealing with premium clients, you ever had somebody want you to do something over the top, like they wanted you to pull it off, like somehow pull it off? How'd you end up pulling it off if you ever encounter something like that?
Something crazy. I mean, I really can't. I mean, I can't really, like, we're gonna pull it off. Like, if you want lions, tigers, and bears, like, I'm the person, like, I'm with it. These are the clients that you want to do business with. Like, you want to have your interest. You got a helicopter coming. You know what I mean? Like, these are the type of clients that you want to work with because they just want to know, can you make it happen?
Yeah. Wow. So I meant to ask you as well. So now, when it comes to starting the event planning business, is there any startup costs that's involved? Like, do you, cause I know you gotta, sometimes you might have to buy the chairs, and the next thing you know, you gotta get a storage unit, and you gotta, you know, have all these things on hand. When it comes to starting up a business like this, is there typically any requirements as far as, like, you know, large investments, or no?
So not a large investment, but I would say you could get started for less than $500, right? So you can go to Amazon. I got a little wish list, but you can go to Amazon and buy a pipe and drape, right? With the drapings, you want to start with white because you can use that for multiple events. You want to start with your balloon blower. You can get stands, like really inexpensive balloon stands from places like IKEA. You want to start. And then one of the things I wish I had known is get in the habit of using OPM.
Other people's money.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can go to places like, you know, you can go to Georgia Expo and finance pipe and drape. You can go to ChavariSales.com and finance furniture and things like that. So you're growing the business, right? And then you're able to, you know, rent and pay them back.
Because I always wondered, I'm like, yo, like, people are buying couches and chairs and all of this stuff, and then your next event is probably in the next 6 months or the next year from now. Like, where are they getting all the furniture, you know, for some events? And they're all renting it, basically.
And I would say also, like, start with items that you're going to be able to use for multiple events. So start with the gold chair, a silver chair, a clear chair. Start with your, you know, your nude for your tablecloth. Start with your nudes, your blacks, you know, stuff that you're going to be able to use multiple times. Does it make sense for you to go get, because this was me, does it make sense for you to go get every color throne chair? You got leopard throne chairs. You got origami throne chairs. Never used it one time, but it was on sale and it was cute. And I was like, I'm going to use this one day.
Yeah. But you never did.
Never did. And also, like, get rid of the stuff. Like, if you have a storage unit, right? I had like 4 storage units full of stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of these props because, you know, I'm going to use them one day. Girl, 2 years went by. It's rats eating this stuff and you don't even know because you haven't seen it or touched it in years. Right? So get rid of stuff. That's the best way to upgrade your inventory. Get rid of stuff and then use that money to purchase new things.
How about buying a vehicle? Do you got to upgrade your vehicle, like buy a van, or you usually rent them out?
So I'm the delegation queen. Do you hear me? So that's the thing about, like, building your team. When you are delegating stuff, you're delegating the responsibility too. So you don't have to have, like, we just did this conference and we were able to I had some stuff that we just put in my car.
And you just drove home.
Yeah, and I don't have to, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. Like, I don't have to worry about having, you know, 10 storage units, but it really depends on where you are in your journey. So, like, I would say starting out, yes, you're gonna need, you know, get a van. You can also rent U-Hauls. Ooh, this is a tip. Should I share this one?
Yeah.
So, like, I utilize, like, Uber XLs to transport my items. Okay? So like
black trucks? Oh, no, like minivans.
Yes.
Minivans, right?
Yes. So you can go on Uber and click to where it says go to Uber XL. So you're going to have someone, so like my backdrops, those big cubes, the entryways, all of that stuff, slide it into that Uber XL. Like, and this is the thing, like, when you hire that Uber XL, get the phone number because they understand the assignment. So when you before you know it, you build your own team.
Yeah.
Go to TaskRabbit.com. Find people to help you plan your events. You can find employees on TaskRabbit.com. Keep their information.
Right.
When I go from city to city, when I go to Miami, when I go to Tampa, I got people in my phone right now that I can call that's going to pull up with a truck, that's going to pull up to help me because I'm building, you know, a team.
So I want to see like I kind of want to see like how you would envision like a successful, let's see, the most common thing, maybe like a successful baby shower. Like how would you design it? How would you make sure it's profitable to you? And what team would you have in place?
Mm-hmm. So this all depends on the budget. So let's just say we gonna start with what's the budget?
Is 10,000 realistic?
10,000.
Is that too small?
I'm a pink starburst. So okay, so let's say 10,000, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to go to the space, right? And I'm going to figure out where am I going to spend the most amount of money here. So I'm going to look at the space. I'm going to say, okay, we need to focus on the focal piece because we don't have a lot of money, right? So we're going to make sure that I have a beautiful backdrop, draping, uplighting. Everything here is going to be beautiful, right? And then on my tables, right? My tablescapes, I can skip. You know what I mean? I can skip some details on the tablescapes. I'm gonna use my, my plates. I may have like a nice menu and a little cutesy, floral arrangement. All right. Then I may put some more money at my entrance, right? So I may have like a entryway here with some balloons, some lighting, some places where people can really, take photos and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. This does not include food or any of those things.
Really?
Look at he like really.
I'm thinking like, $10,000 for a night. Everybody come eat food and they bounce. I still got, like, damn.
But it costs like
It does.
It's so like it really costs. So like your backdrops, your draping, those focal points, like, and you got a team coming in. I got somebody that's doing flowers. I got somebody coming in here to do a whole floor wrap for you. I had a designer that designed this prior to us even getting here. So all of these things, they cost. The chairs, you want you some upscale chairs. Chairs are gonna be anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece.
Yeah. So like ideally, like somebody comes to you and they're like, yo, I love the way you design events. Has anybody thrown you a budget and you just pass on it, like, nah, like, sorry, get my ebook? Like you ever had to do that?
Often.
Yeah. So yes, absolutely. So any planner, like, you need to start with the decor minimum. So this is the amount that you are going to charge to plan any event. This is my get out of bed rate, okay? I know that when I'm doing events, I want to have, at minimum, we got to have the focal point. We got to have balloons at minimum. We got to have menus, right? These are the things that make my brand what it is. This is why you book me. So at minimum, you have to be spending a certain amount for us to come out. And every planner should have this, right?
What's the most expensive thing you would say, like, in terms of designing, like what's the most expensive thing? Would it probably including the food? Like what would be the most expensive thing that goes into it? Like,
the most expensive thing, man, it's a lot. Probably florals. I'm gonna say florals. It just depends on the type of event. So like we were a part of a $1 million event out in Tampa. Miami, we did a $500,000 event, right? So this was like on the beach, Rick Ross was there, 19 Keys, Annetta Powell, like it was crazy. We spent a lot of money, but it was yes.
Wow. So it seems like you've got this thing figured all the way out. How long have you been doing this for?
So I've been in the industry for 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
Wow. When did things really start picking up for you?
I would say, when did things start picking up? You mean time-wise or?
Business-wise, time-wise? Like,
I would say, honestly, like when I took my first class. It gave me the confidence right away.
After how many years?
After probably 10 years. It took me 10 years to get help.
Wow. So what was the switch? Like, I remember you even mentioned, you had a situation going on with, ex-husband, things of that nature. Was that like a part of the reason why there was like a long delay as far as?
So I say when I got out of that relationship, I just started really focusing on personal development. Like, you know, just me becoming a better person. The first thing I did was just like moved out of the bedroom that we were in and moved into another bedroom in my house. Okay. Cause that room like had punch walls, broke me out, you know, it just reminded me of what I was going through.
Complete, almost disaster, basically. Wow.
I moved into that other room and I was like, you know what? I'm not buying anything but like, unless I'm fixing my credit, I'm not spending my money on anything unless it's going to help me get to the next level. And I call this my sacrifice season. So we only had Wi-Fi because I was making t-shirts and stuff, then out party favorite stuff. So I remember still to this day, like my kids, like we would just watch because we didn't have cable. So we would just watch the Chipmunk movie over and over and over. And you like we would, when I wake up, because you know if you don't turn the DVD off, it's still
That
playing
show's
and
still
playing.
going.
We wake up and then it's the Chipmunk song. But I just started going hard. I started just, you know, getting my credit together. And honestly, I just started attracting everything that I wanted in my life. And I started investing more, right? One day, and my business started growing. I started attracting the relationships that I wanted, the people that I wanted. And I used to pack up all the time because I used to say I was moving all the time. My kids was like, we ain't moving. And I told my kids, I said, on Sunday, we're moving to Atlanta. My kids did not believe me. On Sunday, we moved to Atlanta.
So after how long did it take you to be like, all right, cool, this is the time where I'm going to, you know, make the move?
I would really say like a year. Like a year.
Wow.
Because things, I'm telling you, once you get rid of what's not for you, then you have room to accept all of the things that are for you.
Yeah.
So I moved and my business just started growing faster than I could even, I could, you know, catch up with. We moved to an Airbnb, didn't have any plans, nothing. And I just started getting in rooms with people who fit my future and where I wanted to be. And it caused me to start expecting more of myself.
Wow.
And all of my habits started, you know what I mean, changing. And I'm telling you, like, for real.
Because a lot of times it's, you know, and for you specifically, you know, you got a community where you're teaching over 60,000 plus people. You know, you're working with a lot of women. You know, sometimes they may be in domestic violence situations. And that's what eventually just may be holding them back, you know? So, like, for you to be able to, you know, go through your entire journey and then, you know, make a switch and then change your whole environment off of nothing, it really goes to show that, you know, anything is possible. You know what I mean? So definitely commend you on that for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely commend you. So like when it comes to the book now, you gotta talk to us about this book here.
So from hustle to high ticket. So it's my journey building $1 million party planning business. And so it talks about the hustle, right? Me thinking that all I need to do is get 10 people to book me at $275, right? To me really developing and turning into the person that can actually charge whatever I want to charge, you know, charge premium pricing, changing my environment and really scaling and growing my business. So this is really like the blueprint from personal development to the relationships that I've had to build to me serving. Everything that I did to scale and grow my business.
It's kind of funny now because you started out with 275 events. Now she's talking about money that you can't even get her out the bed for. 275 you can't even move for at this point. So it's good to see, you know, the growth and elevation that you've made, you know, along the journey. That's very, very commendable for sure.
Thank you.
But it's so funny because before she was doing events for $275 and now it's 6-figure events, $500,000. So that's definitely good. Yeah. Have you ever looked back and be like, yo, like, look where I done came from?
It isn't until like I scroll through my phone looking for something and I'm like, dang, like Kim, you've been doing a lot. Like give yourself some grace, because I think a lot of times, like, I don't know if you maybe deal with this too, like sometimes you feel like you just not going hard enough. And I think it's because we are in these rooms where we see people that's doing, you know, bigger things, and sometimes you like, oh, I need to be there, but like I have to say, like, Kim, give yourself some grace, girl. Like, you doing your thing. So yeah.
Wow.
No, that's good. That's an incredible story, because you know, we had some guests who, you know, they made that, well, they built up that courage to just say, yo, I'm up and I'm leaving my home city and I'm going to, whether it's Atlanta or some people travel to Florida or even Houston, but taking that risk, because a lot of people, they really scared, like, because there's so much things and memories that you're leaving behind as well. But to build that courage up and say, like, yo, hey, you're going to Atlanta, and take that bet on yourself, and then now look, it just transformed your whole business, and now you're around people who probably even, you know, making, you know, 7 figures, 8 figures, like mentors. So it's incredible to see, you know what I mean? So definitely, I feel like you dropped a lot of game on this one.
Absolutely.
A lot of gems. And you broke it down so simple for people, like
Thank
really,
you.
really simple. What, like, end of the year, like what are some of your goals eventually with the business? Like, are you looking to fully automate it, or would you want to be like kind of playing more so the back coaching space? Like, where do you see yourself taking it?
Yeah, definitely opening our party planning school, right? So a location for women to be able to come out and learn, have access to, you know, tools that they might not have, you know, access to. Furniture, you know, luxury, premium, upscale, stuff like that. So that's my goal. Is to
That's
get
great.
that school open.
Because the education is needed. Like, a lot of people, they're very interested into you know, into things like, you know, event planning. So that would be incredible. That would definitely be incredible. And I know you got something coming up in June. And you say you wanted to give something away as well to the audience.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna give them, for anybody that's watching this, like, I'm gonna give you a kit to help you get started as a creative. This is everything you need to get started, your systems. So all you gotta do is text the word party to 678-403-6408. All right, so text the word party, PARTY, to 678-403-6408.
Again, and where you gonna give them again?
I'm going to give them a toolkit, right? So this is going to teach them about digital products. This is going to teach them where and how to market those products. And it's also going to teach them how to get in front of their target audience, okay? The people who can and will pay you your worth.
Is this something you used to sell before, and you just decided, like, yo, let me just give it to the audience?
So it's something that I could sell,
Okay.
but like, this is why I do this.
I get it, y'all. She giving y'all she's giving y'all the stuff that she could sell. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So go ahead, opt in, get yourself the toolkit, and tap in, and also talk about the event that's coming up soon.
Yeah, so I have an event. I'm always having events, hands-on classes, and we're actually doing, this is going to be a celebrity baby shower. So we're actually doing it for a celebrity. And so they're going to learn how to come in and transform a space. So from draping to florals to table settings, balloons, all of that stuff.
And how about the virtual event too? 'Cause I know you got like a challenge coming up as well.
Yep. So they're going to learn. We're
Is
going to
that
get
the
into...
challenge?
No,
Okay.
no. So it's different. It's a hands-on class. So we have a hands-on class coming up. One in Miami. We have another in Atlanta. And then the online challenge. This is where they're going to learn how to use Canva and AI, right? How to get inspired, how to create your own digital product. You're going to learn the platform that you need to be selling these digital products on. You're going to learn how to price for profit. And then you're going to learn, like, how to put this stuff together. Because people see it and they're like, Kim, how do I actually do it? So they're actually going to learn how to put the vinyl, you know, how to cut it out, like how to actually create these items to be able to sell them.
And make some money.
Yeah.
There you go. Get yourself some motion and success, y'all.
Nice.
So, any final words, bro?
Nah, bro, this is a really good one. This was definitely a really good one. Oh yeah, matter of fact, because people love, especially like people online, Instagram. They love hearing the numbers. So, you know how you mentioned you say you do like 2 events a quarter. People are gonna be like, how the hell is she making money from that?
Because of my design fee is 5 figures.
So out of your whole time, yeah, look.
Listen.
So out of like from all your time doing this, like what would you say like would be like your biggest month like ever in this space?
My biggest month, collectively with planning and events, $500,000 a month.
Wow. Sheesh.
Damn. Sheesh.
So now y'all definitely know who to learn from.
It's like, an awkward moment. Like, God damn. Okay. Wow. So listen, y'all, this is another episode of Motion and Success. Any final words for you as well?
Any final words is for my creatives that might be watching this. I need you to know that this is not just flowers. It's not just balloons. This is your God-given gift, right? So tap in, use your gift. This is your ticket to building, generational wealth and all of the things that you deserve and you desire.
This was game. This was game.
From substitute teacher to building a multi-million-dollar business. Absolutely. I'm glad that you were able to come through and share a lot of information with our audience and pretty much give them the game. How can they find you?
Thank you. So on Instagram or Facebook, it is Easy Peasy, the letter E, the letter Z, the letter P, the letter Z, party planning.
Okay.
Easy peasy party planning.
Easy peasy party planning. So listen, guys, this is another episode of Motion and Success. I'm glad that you guys were able to stick it through. Listen, share this episode to a friend, share it to a family member, share it to somebody that you know can definitely benefit off this episode. Because listen, the Eventbrite play, that one right there, that got me for sure. And if you're starting off from brand new, this is something you definitely need to tune into. So, any final words, bro?
It was game. This is one that people are going to be replaying over and over again.
Absolutely.
But, like Kimberly, she gave y'all the number. Y'all getting free digital products. So, definitely tap in, hit the links in the bio, and we see y'all on the next one.
Peace. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.